Well, welcome back people to what is a very damp late November. Got the new DJI, can't even say it, microphone on at the moment, so hoping it's going to make a massive difference to my posts and videos because it's a very expensive mic setup. So here we are, back in the Leicestershire countryside. Let me give you a zoom there. Yep. It's Beacon Hill and Bradgate Park along that way, and you follow it round and Leicester is about there, and then if you go round, that's the main A6 bypass, and then if you go down here, Melton Mowbray would be over that way. So there you go. Welcome. This is going to be a Q&A on Lodge Life. For all you people who watch my channel for electric vehicles, you will also know that I've got about 10, 11, maybe even 12 posts now regarding lodges. Those things there, they are lodges built to a British standard, so you can live in them all year round. That's the whole idea of the lodges. So this is one of the touring fields here, and there's another one here, and if you've watched my videos before, you'll know what I'm talking about. So let's move on. This Q&A is going to be as factual as I can possibly get it, what to expect and what not to expect, and what you'll get and what you won't get, because the last thing I want to do is be not truthful. Because if you're thinking about buying one of these things, you know, at the end of the day, they are or can be an expensive non-investment. Now, I have mine for sale at the moment, 40B20. Anyone interested, PM me. I'm in no rush. I've got site fees paid until May 1, 2024. We have found nowhere else to go yet. So we're in no rush to go anywhere. If you're not in a rush and you're looking for a lodge, which is virtually still like new, with an unused family bathroom and an unused second bedroom, and very super clean and with a lot of extras added on, that lodge there could be for you. Anyway, back to this Q&A. So question one, I'm going to say, and this is one that's been spoke about before, but I'm going to bring it up again because I've been asked a fair few questions about it. 20-year lease, is that the norm? Well, no, it isn't. There is no norm regarding these leases on these properties, or should I say plots. They all differ from site to site, and it's basically down to the site owner. When we got this unit, we knew what we were getting, a 20-year plot lease. Full residential site will probably have leases of the plot for 50 years, 99 years. Some are even longer. But don't forget, this is a 12-month permit that I'm on. And so it's 20 years. Now, on April 29 next year, it'll be 2 years gone, so it's over 18 years left. I've actually found out that maybe that 18 years could be took back to 20 again if I sell it. Expect 20 to be the norm, but some can be a lot more. Ask your site owner before you buy the plot. I've come on to the hardcore now, purely because my feet are wet. That grass is drenched. Okay, this next one came up on the first one, but again, I'm going to bring it back up because it's that location one. People have said to me, oh, well, why are the price differentials so vast for the same unit or for something that's a year old or brand new? Well, it's very, very easy to put into perspective, because if you are buying a brand new unit, expect to pay the price that the site owner wants for it. It's his site. He will dictate the price you pay. Now, if you've got a plot of land somewhere and you want to buy this Sunseeker Sensation, for example, you can then buy it with a better gain in your pocket than the site owner, purely because he's got to make some money on the units that he puts onto plots. Simple as that. You're buying it direct from the company, you're taking the warranty on and everything else, and you're putting it on your land, so you're probably dealing with the haulage and the construction of the two halves put together and everything else, whereas the site owner does that for you when you buy one from him. All that is in his hands. So he has to make sure that everything goes smooth, and if anything goes wrong, he has to pay for it. That's why you'll pay more to buy it from the plot stroke site owner than you will if you buy it direct, obviously. So this spins things around on its head, because not only is it the site owner that will dictate the price of his units on his site, it is also the three words: location, location, location. I said this before and I'll say it again. We luckily have a prime plot on this site, in my opinion. Some of the other units here might not agree. They might think that their plot is better for other reasons. We wanted this plot because we have got views that way and all the way down the side. We are away from the road, so there's no road noise. We are away from the car park, so there's hardly any car park noise. So it's more isolated here and far better for more of a comfortable way of living. But anyway, some will disagree. So most people will pay a premium for the plot that they want. Also, it's down to the actual area. Now, on this site, there is no nightclub, there is no bar. There is a small privately owned cafe, but that's not to do with this site. It's on the same area and you can go and use it and they appreciate your business, but it's not part of why you sign up for this particular site where we are. You sign up for this site or sites similar to this because of the location where they are for quiet countryside living. Within maybe 2 mile to 3 mile of a major town like we are. We are 1.5 miles to the centre of a small village with a co-op and some amenities and everything, and even a chip shop, and about 4 or 5 good pubs. So it's well located. So this is why you pay that extra. This is why you will pay that location price. Like I said, this unit somewhere else in a more commercial based site could be 60,000 less. But you are paying for the plot being here at this location with these views. The price of this reflects not overall just the condition, because it is like new still, the fact that it's also under warranty, but the fact of where it is. So let's just pin this down and say that anyone asks about the price of your lodge that you've got for sale, they have to realise where it is. And the location has a massive, massive difference on price all the way through the country. And we have this north-south divide, which I've mentioned before, but throw that to the side and think again, and think of location. It's just the same as if this was somewhere where you had no views. So the price would be cut. It could be somewhere with a noisy road either side of it. The price would be cut. It could be somewhere where it's just off a large housing estate where there's been a high crime rate. Here, crime is virtually zero. Again, you pay for that location, you pay for that privacy, you pay for that peace of mind. And that's why used units here will hold their values very, very good in comparison to what was previously paid for them or what will be fetched in so-called phase 2 if and when it happens. The price also dictates on a used unit that all your warranty problems that you do find within the first year have all been sorted out, as this has. We've called them out many times for bits and bobs to, oh look, that's not right, can you put that on? And they've done it all. With a brand new unit, you'll have to put up with that. You'll have to put up with the things you'll find wrong, which may very, very be annoying. And so you'll have to have them sorted out either under warranty or with the site owner. Now don't forget also, the landscaping is very, very barren when you buy one of these things. All you'll get is a few slabs to your door and one driveway. And also, don't forget, most sites are formatted in lines, boring lines. This site here is all different, like I said earlier. So again, it adds to that ongoing price that can be asked for it. So it's not just the unit, it's not just the condition, it's the location, it's the plot. They're the two big ones. And if you're buying new or used, always remember that, because you might be paying 60k more for the exact same unit somewhere else. So, something I didn't cover last time, although I think I mentioned it, the thing I didn't make a question or an answer to was, are you asked to leave or renew your lodge if it's looking very old and tatty after 10 years? Well, that used to be. You would have to do a lot of Googling and a lot of asking and a lot of legal questions through a solicitor to find out where you are on that one. As far as I'm concerned, most 20-year leases or most 12-month permit sites, after 10 years, because you've got a brand new unit on there, like this is here, these are all brand new units. So obviously, even now, they're only still 2-year-old at the most. So the 10-year rule, in other words, in 8 years' time, will this be tatty? Will they be old and looking very, you know, distraught? No, they won't. They'll still look the way they are now, because the 10-year ruling that used to be is a bit misleading. What it was down on very large mass caravan sites on the east coast, for example, of England, in your Skegness and your Inglemells, there used to be a lot of older units, or old lodge stroke van units, which looked very, very dated after 10 years. Well, that's not the case now. These lodges look completely different now from the old style. But imagine if you had a site and you wanted to bring on 2 or 3 real brand new super looking lodges like we live in at the moment, but they were mixed in with very old 20-year-old tatty looking units. Yes, that site owner has every right after 10 years, if he feels that he wants for you to renew, to ask you to get it off site basically, and give you 6 months notice to do that. So be wary of that one. If you've got an old unit, you know, say 15 to 20 year old, and you're going to put it and site it somewhere, just ask the site owner if he's going to be happy in another 10 years of you being on that site with him still. He might say, no, I'm not. It might look very old by then at 25 years, and he might want to renew the site to make it modern and more attractive to new investors. So the 10-year thing still exists, but it's not fixed in law. It's down to the site owner. So I hope that clears that one up. Okay, I've come indoors, by the way, because my feet got wet through and it's really cold out there today. Again, I'm going to move on swiftly to the next one. I got asked by someone just after doing that last Q&A, and they said to me, oh, what was included? Was it all fenced off? You know, were the slabs included? Were all your landscaping done? Well, the answer to that is no. Like I said previously on that the last Q&A, it's very basic of what you get in with the price of a new one. Now, it's up to you what you want to spend on your unit, on your area round. The site manager or site owner will push onto you to make it look nice. There's no two ways about that. A lot of sites not demand it, but would expect for you to look after it, would expect for you to keep the lawns at a certain level, de-weed where necessary, and everything else that goes with it. So when you're buying a used unit, you're also buying the fact that it's all been done. Okay, you've got no issues, no other input, no other money to put out, especially if you like the way it's been done. You could modify and change it, but at the end of the day, you're paying for something which is already here, all ready to move in, and it's done and dusted. So not only have the warranty flaws been sorted out in that first year, you've also got maybe an extended driveway, maybe far more slabs, sheds in position, that kind of thing. All the front lawns all done and properly, you know, formatted with new bushes and everything else. So take that in consideration when you're buying a used unit, because over new, because that could be an extra 3, 5, 10, 20,000 pound, depending on size of plot and what you want to do to your area in your home. I've also been asked, can you take, if for example, I spent £4,000 on a load of slabs, which weren't concreted in, but they were in there, and then I put a load of decking down and everything else, and I spent a fortune on the outside of my property. If you did that, you're putting money onto the site owner's plot, because that plot is not yours. You are just renting that plot under a lease term for a fixed amount of 10, 20, 50 years, which has been mentioned before. So someone asked me, if I was to move, could I take up those slabs and take them with me? Could I remove the decking and take that with me? I've not 100% checked on this, but I would guarantee from my own experience and what homework I've done, is that once you've made that part of the plot, it stays there. So to remove anything and have a builder come around and take it all up and leave it in a mess because you want it for your next location or next property would be a no-no. I would be amazed if there's a site owner out there that would let you do that. So I'm going back now to something that was in the first Q&A, and that was investment in the actual plot itself. Be very, very wary how much you spend if you're buying new, because that money can add up like that. in slabbing, in fencing, in doing everything that you feel you want. And some people here on this site have done that. All the best to them. Me personally, I could never ever spend that kind of money on what is not my land, because all you're doing is spending it on a lease of plot. Totally different if you're doing it yourself to your own land. But again, be wary of that one. So I'm going to say no is the answer. You could not rip it all up and leave it in disarray to take it somewhere else once you've actually put it down. So remember that one if you're going to invest in the land around your plot. Okay, this brings us to these things here. Cars. Now I've got two cars, as you know, two electric cars it happens, but I've got two cars. One's parked over there. Hello dog. Again, look, he's here. Everywhere I go he's there. And we've got one here. Luckily we can get two cars parked if we come all the way up here, no problem. Two small cars will be no issue. So, cars. You are not allowed on most sites to just plant them on grass and park them on grass. If you realise and you look here, everyone that lives here has got his own parking space. Even some people have invested far more money and had it done literally so they don't park on grass, which is great, which is what's expected. So if you've got more than one car, again, check with your site owner before you buy the plot if you can extend. We can here, let me show you. This finishes at an odd angle, okay, instead of it going straight along there. Don't really bother us, but as you see, this is a small car, the Tesla is a mid to large car, and we get them both on. But we can now extend this way with slabs, two lots of slabs, or even these, but they're expensive. So two lots of slabs, gravel in the middle. We would have then enough from that fence down to here for 3 and a bit cars, maybe even 4 small cars. But it's another investment. Yes, if you can extend your drive and again, clear it with your site owner, you have no issue regarding cars. There is one here, and that is that this site owner does state that if you can't get your car onto your drive, leave it in the car park. I've done that. I've moved it out. I even tell my visitors to leave it in the car park and walk down to us, and most do, apart from my direct family who then park on the drive. I move my car up. So that's the one for that one. Most sites will be different. They don't like you parking on grass because it just ruins the effect of the whole grass area, which I suppose the site owner has paid a fortune for to lay the grass in the first place. So that's that one answered. So good question that one was, cars and where do you park them. But most good sites will have an extensioned car park for visitors. So I wouldn't worry about it too much, but please, 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 again, I'm going to answer the same, check with your site owner before you buy the plot. Someone did bring up something that we never actually thought of, and that is gas boilers. Now the gas boiler fitted in these things are very modern, very brand new if you buy new. This here is exactly the same boiler now, 18-month old, as you would get with one brand new. Do you need to get them serviced? Well, put yourself in the scenario where after, say, the 2-year warranty on your boiler or 3-year warranty, you didn't get it serviced and there was a gas leak from it and it created an explosion or it created a fire or whatever. The worst, it kills somebody. Your insurance company might void your insurance. You've got to remember these things are not domestic properties. No mind if they've got a 12-month permit, no mind if they've got a 10-month permit to live here. At the end of the day, they are not domestic properties and definitely not residential. So things are a bit different. Now, I know for sure there's no sticker on my boiler to say that it was certified and ticked off correct. Again, it's not needed because it's not a domestic property. It's up to you if you want to do that, to get someone out and have a look at it. And I've got a great guy who comes out and looks after my plumbing and electricals and has done for many years since I renovated a house. He'd come out happily and have a look at that and put his own sticker on it, tick, date, cheers mate, that would be it. That would be good enough for most insurance companies to say that you've had it looked at and serviced. Well, yes, I'm going to say if you've got a new unit or you're buying a used one, get someone round to just check the boiler. put a sticker on it, what date they came, and doom, it's assured and certified. That way you're clear. If there's any hassles, you've done it. So don't look at these things like domestic laws, because they're not. It's totally different from bricks and mortar. These are holiday homes. Initially holiday, even if when they've got residential spec, they are still classed as a holiday home. If you went for residential site, that's a different thing. You may well find on a residential site, then you would have to go the laws of normal bricks and mortar. Hope that helps. Oh, before I go on that one, it's the same on electrics. We have no certification that the electrics were done by any professional when you buy this thing. I don't think any of us have on this site, and I don't think you'll find it anywhere, again, because it's not a domestic property. So remember that. But for peace of mind, if you want to do that and get an electrician round to have it all checked, great. Now, don't get me wrong, the work that's done on this has to be done by a certified electrician. I mean, we had problems with our junctions and they were labelled wrong. So Sunseeker sent their own electricians, the subcontract electricians round, certified electricians, who then looked at all the wiring, put it all right for us, job done, gave us a thumbs up, and they left. So we know it was done by a professional, but it was never ticked to say it had been done. So again, because it's not a domestic property. Well, it's Friday and Friday's a laundry day. So while I'm filming this, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone, as they say. I'm going to walk across to something that's classed as an amenity here. So, there's our unit again, which is the one that's for sale. It is a 40x20, but I'm not going to go into details on this video about our own unit. It has got 8-foot decking. Anyway, I'm going to go across to the laundry room because I'm going to mention amenities. When you look for a site, and I've been asked about amenities on each site, when you're looking for a site, give it some thought regarding what it's got to offer you. You might be on a site out in the countryside with no bus route, no laundry, nothing within 5 to 8 to 10 miles of you. Okay, so straight away, as you can see, we have washing facilities. Now this is normally because, excuse me, this is a touring, let me just shut this door, this horrible clacking diesel van. God, that's why I hate diesels. Yeah, it's also got this, which is industrial size and quality, and a washing machine. It's £4 for the washer and £1 for every 15 minutes. If you put £2 in, you get an extra 5. I'm not going to bore you too much with this, and also these books and everything, because again it's a touring site predominantly, you can use and come in here and use all this if you own a lodge, as we do. So very much a big bonus to have this, because if your washing machine or your dryer or whatever breaks down, okay, in your lodge, you have it here on site. So that can't be bad, can it really? Like I say, back to that thing where you're going to be miles away from anything. That sounds great, but it's not, because there's that time when you need something, i.e. something urgently, or just something on for day-to-day living. And that thing there is definitely something that a lot of us use on a daily or definitely weekly basis. So massive bonus to have on site. And again here you've got a shower block next door, which I won't show you, but you've got a very clean, nice shower block, which is £1 a shower. And obviously you've got the cafe, which I'll just point through the window there. There you go. You can see what time of year it is, can't you? That's a lovely little cafe run by some great girls who do a great job and serve some beautiful cakes and coffees, but there you go, that's your bit done. To have these things as amenities on your site, and sometimes when you go and look for a lodge that is actually on a predominantly started touring caravan site, that's got to be good, that's got to be a bit of a bonus. I wouldn't like to think that we were here, and we're only, like I say, 1.5 to 2 miles from a village, but I wouldn't like to think we're here without these amenities, because if you want to take a shower and the water goes off in your unit or it freezes, you can always get a shower. So yeah, big things to think about when you're buying a lodge. Think where it is and what's on offer, and how much it affects the price, the buying price, like I said before in some previous questions, and it will do. So yeah, that's that one done. Okay, back out in the wind and the cold to do this bit. Now, as you can see, I'm out now on a stroll with, yep, you guessed it, the Brat, as it's called. Two things before we go any further on this Q&A. People have asked me what breed he is. Well, I'll tell you straight. He is a mix of Shih Tzu and Yorkshire Terrier, which makes him the mad box of frogs that he is. There you go, that's the dog. So we're talking about pets. Now, I have been a dog lover and had dogs since I was knee high to the proverbial grasshopper. That's a saying from back in the day, isn't it? So I've had dogs all my life, basically. There's been a few years when we first got married and everything else, and we didn't have them, and then we had them, and then blah, blah, blah. Then we moved to Tenerife to live and go out on business, and that's another story. I won't mention that here today. And so we had to leave the dog behind, which was a heartbreaker. But again, he went to a very, very good home, and he only lived another 2 years. So whatever, moving on. So pets. It's a weird advice, this one. If you've already got dogs, I'm afraid that you might be heading for a bad time trying to get a unit, because there's a lot of places that will not take pets at all. So if you're coming onto a lodge site, new or old, that doesn't take pets, well, straight away, do you say goodbye to these things just for that change of lifestyle? Or do you keep them and move on and look for something else? I think 95% of us would keep the animals and move on to something else. But anyway, that's my outlook. I may be wrong. So pets and sites. This has been asked many, many times actually, because we've had a lot of people obviously on this touring side of this place we live, and they've been on site and said to us, oh, are you allowed dogs? Well, yes is the answer. You are allowed dogs, but you're only allowed dogs in certain ways. In other words, when we first came here, we were told that we could only have a small dog, and that would be one per lodge. So I had a lovely couple come round late summer to here, and they said to me, oh, we're thinking about buying on here and want to buy on here. What would be the outtake with 2 dogs? And I says, well, you're going to be struggling. I can never talk for the site owner. I'm not, I have nothing to do with this site rather than just live here. So it would be purely down to the site owner where you want to buy. It's a difficult one because, like I said, the pets, when you've already got the pets, it's hard to decide what you're going to do. Let's face it, when we move to these lodges, especially if you're going to live in it more so than anywhere else during the year, it is a lifestyle choice. And already those things there are lifestyle choices. So we have to be pretty careful what we decide. Like I said, most of us will keep the dogs and we'll try and find somewhere that will take pets, but that's sometimes very difficult. Already on here, there are, I think 6 or 7 of us with dogs and 3 or 4 without. I'm not sure on the exact numbers. I won't have another dog. When he's passed, that's it. We've decided not to have any more. We want to travel more and see life a bit more. And I think the dog at the moment will hold us back to what we want to really do. I know the couple that came to see us, like I say, back end of summer, they had 2 dogs, and also they mentioned grandchildren staying over, and some sites won't even let that happen. You cannot have grandchildren or children. They can visit you during the day, but you can't, or you're not meant to have them here, or on most sites at night time they can't stay over, and it's very rare to find a site that will actually allow children, especially when they've told you already it's no families and 45 plus. So that's another one I'm going to bring into this pet one. Be wary of what you're doing before you sign up for anything, because once you've signed that 20-year plot lease, you have to live within the realms of the laws of the site. Some people do, some people don't. I try and keep in with them all time. I don't think I've upset anybody here as regarding that side of it. But hey ho, we all live different. We all have our own agendas and our own way of living and what we expect out of these lodges and these sites. So yeah, that's that one covered. Anyway, there was one thing that I will add before I close this up. The cap I'm wearing, as you can see. There you go, a bit of a close-up for you. We did a road trip in the USA. It is on this channel you are watching now. Please go ahead and watch it. There's about 5 or 6 posts on there, maybe more, about our full trip from Phoenix in Arizona. So it's useful if you're going to do a road trip on Route 66 or anywhere in America. And so, yeah, that's what that is all about. I have been asked. Anyway, with that in mind, I bet you can feel a bit of the wind through the mic. I can feel it on my back. It's getting windy here. And it's not looking the best. Some of them clouds, although it is nice and blue in other areas, so can't knock that for the end of November. All the leaves are nearly gone now, apart from around my lodge, and the one tree I wanted to get rid of with all the leaves has still got leaves. That's the one nearest to my decking. I'm going to end it here, folks. Thanks for watching this Q&A. I might have ranted on about a few bits and bobs and been a bit short on others, but hope it's helped again. I do these things to assist people, not to annoy. If you have any questions, please comment below or email me, PM me, whatever. And if you are interested in our lodge that is for sale, again, PM me or join my Facebook site. Woo, it's windy. Join my Facebook site. You'll find it, I have mentioned it in this post here. Get on page, join up. There's quite a few useful people that know a lot of things about lodges and a lot of questions being asked, so it's maybe useful to you. So I'm going to wrap it. I'm going to get back in. I've walked in. We've both had his thing here, so we're going to get back in and get a nice warm latte down me. If you want to support the channel, please do. There is a thanks button, the thanks icon now on YouTube, and you can donate anything you want to the channel to help in its assistance for better content and everything else. And I just appreciate you watching and being a subscriber. That's great for me. That does it for me. Thank you very much. I'm out of here. I'm going to get back in the warm. I'll see you later.